Hi everyone, today we'll be looking at the DJI OM4 gimbal, also known as the DJI Osmo Mobile 4. This is a successor to the Osmo Mobile 3 with a keen focus on ease of use, accomplished by the introduction of the all-new magnetic mounting system. In addition, the OM4 also features some new shooting modes. Let's dive in. Before I jump into the details, let me just lay out a summary. How much does it cost? It costs about £140. I have included a link in the description below in case you want to check the latest price or buy. What is good? The battery life, build, ergonomics, design, and plenty of exciting features. What is not so good? Limited device compatibility, stabilization is quite average, a lack of manual exposure or focus controls on Android devices, the zoom and directional movements such as panning are not that smooth. That being said, I hope you find this video helpful, and if you're new here, please subscribe for future videos, and as always, if you like the video, please leave me a comment or like. In this review, I'll be looking at what's included in the box, build, design and comfort, features and sample videos, physical controls, phone compatibility for Android and Apple devices, quick video comparison of stabilization quality, and then the conclusion. I have included video timestamps to help you jump between sections if needed. Let's just start this review by looking at what is included in the box. So in the box we have the gimbal, the tripod attachment, USB-C cable for charging, magnetic phone clamp, magnetic ring holder, a mounting guide for magnetic ring holder, a carrying pouch, and a hand strap. Let's look into build, design, and comfort. The DJI OM4 is very well built, and the magnetic clamp is a brilliant design decision. It genuinely takes away the need of persistently keeping the phone mounted on the gimbal in order to avoid the mounting and unmounting inconvenience. Not only that, but the gimbal also does not need balancing when mounting the phone. The magnetic clamp is quite slim and can be left on the phone, which allows you to mount the phone and start shooting in seconds rather than minutes. This indeed was one of the main reasons of purchasing this gimbal. The idea of magnet-based mounting at first seemed a little bit anxiety-inducing, but upon testing I found that the magnet is strong and keeps the phone on the gimbal no matter you're walking or running, making any sudden movements, or at least in my testing, the phone has never detached from the gimbal by itself. One thing to keep in mind is to either use a slim case or no case at all to ensure that the phone fits onto the clamp. The OM4 is not necessarily light in weight. In practice, you will end up carrying about 700 grams or 1.5 pounds of weight in your hands when you have the phone mounted with the tripod attached. This can be a considerate amount of weight when you want to shoot for more than 5 to 10 minutes. Carrying the gimbal over your eye level and walking a short distance can be tiring and will add shakes to your video, especially in winter when you most probably will be wearing a heavy coat or a jacket. The gimbal weighs about 392 grams, the tripod is 72 grams, and the magnetic clamp is 33 grams. Well, on the other hand, the DJI OM4 has been built with the ergonomics in mind, and you can see that with the angled grip, which definitely helps your wrist sit in a more natural posture in comparison to having a persistent bend in the wrist when using a straight grip gimbal. This is a great differentiating factor and shows that DJI has tried balancing out the weight issue with an ergonomic grip, which keeps the wrist and your forearm from feeling tired or stressed when using the OM4 for longer durations. This grip has a comfortable diameter with a textured coating to give a confident and slip-free grip. In my opinion, this is quite essential as the gimbal is holding your phone, which is not necessarily cheap to replace. The controls on the OM4 are easy to access, and it will not strain your thumb as the buttons are well spaced to work with someone with small or a big hand. The OM4 can be folded just like the Osmo Mobile 3 and becomes quite compact to fit in a loose coat pocket, but not necessarily your jeans pocket unless you wear very baggy clothes. Talking about portability, it does not come with a proper case, but rather a pouch. The pouch is great when it comes to basic storage, but when using it for traveling, it offers very minimal protection. For me, I bought a separate case with a strap to work like a shoulder bag for the gimbal. It is a semi-hard case, so it not only offers protection, but also great for portability. I have included a link for this in the description below. Let's dive into features. The OM4 offers loads of great features, and the DJI Mimo app makes the OM4 easy to use. The OM4 can also be used as a power bank for charging your phone in case of emergencies. I say emergencies because the battery is small, but good enough to get the phone going for a few hours in case you're shooting and run out of battery in a remote location. The gimbal can output 5 watts of power and can be charged at about 10 watts of power. In terms of shooting modes, the OM4 supports follow mode, tilt locked mode, first person view mode, and the spin shot mode. Let me explain these modes. When the gimbal is in follow mode, it follows your movements in order to free follow moving objects with smooth pans. The tilt locked mode locks the tilt motor, which is great for when you're walking and following someone in one direction. For example, when you're walking behind your subject. FPV mode, or first person view mode, is to simulate first person view using the gimbal. This makes the gimbal a little bit less smooth and introduces some intentional non-smooth directional movements to simulate a first person view. Lastly, the spin shot mode allows you to rotate the camera as you record. This allows you to capture some Inception movie style videos. The app also has a subject tracking function and is the best subject tracking function I have personally tested. This is great for tracking moving subjects like your pets, children, moving vehicles, and so on. The app also includes a sport mode, which comes in handy for when you want to track fast moving objects. This can be enabled by long pressing the trigger and holding it, and gets disabled the moment you let go the trigger, allowing you to use this mode more dynamically. This mode can also be turned on permanently in the app, though I would suggest using this mode for its intended purpose, as the directional movements can get quite jerky, which work well for when you're tracking fast moving objects, but not so well for normal subjects. The app offers the following recording modes. It has hyperlapse, time-lapse, which includes still time-lapse and motion time-lapse. It does not support active tracking and only supports follow and tilt lock modes. Then you have dynamic zoom in and out. This mode keeps the subject at the same zoom level and the background zooms in or zooms out, depending on if you are moving in or moving out. This mode is also known as like dolly zoom mode, which is an effect which was made popular by Alfred Hitchcock movies. This mode supports active tracking and only follow and tilt locked modes are available. Then we have slow motion, which is available at 8 and 4x speeds, or at least on my phone. This mode does not support active tracking. Then we have the normal video mode, a normal photo mode, a panorama mode, which allows you to take 270-degree shots, or a 3x3 grid shot. And then you also have a clone me mode as well. You have a night mode, which takes a long exposure shot. You have HDR video using the front camera. but does not support active tracking. And lastly, you have the video bouquet, which also does not support active tracking. Alright, next up, sample videos for all these modes. I hope you enjoy. Let's look at some physical controls for the gimbal. The OM4 has simple controls to use. It has 5 physical controls with 2 buttons, 1 joystick, 1 slider, and lastly 1 trigger at the back. When powered off, long pressing the M button will turn on the gimbal. When powered on, a single 1 second long hold of the M button will put the gimbal on a standby, and a single press will activate it again. And lastly, a long press will turn off the gimbal. One small thing worth mentioning, which shows the thought that has gone into the design of OM4, is when you power off the OM4, it turns off and leaves the phone in a position which a user would need to unmount the phone from the gimbal. Small things like these are in DNA of DJI and is what makes this product stand apart from the rest. Then we have a slider for zoom control, a joystick for directional movements, a dedicated button for recording videos and taking photos. Single pressing the M button will pop up the mode menu to allow selection of camera modes. Double pressing will change the phone's orientation from landscape to portrait and vice versa. The trigger at the back is controlled by your index finger, and a single tap will start or stop active tracking. Double tap will reset the phone's position, and triple press will allow you to switch between the front and the rear cameras. Alright, let's look into phone compatibility for both Android and Apple devices. The resolution of the video and the frame rates and the slow motion capture speeds and usage of lenses available on the phone are heavily dependent on the phone hardware and if DJI have the phone in its compatibility list. But if your phone is compatible, the app supports shooting at 4K and 1080p at 24, 30 and 60 frames per second for the normal video mode. The zoom uses all the available lenses on the phone to give you a perfect balance between zoom and video quality. Though this is an area DJI is biased towards Apple devices. This is probably because Apple offers a limited number of phones, so it's easier for DJI to develop compatible drivers, which is not the case for Android, wherein there are so many different manufacturers with loads of models, and all models have their own different hardware setup. I'm using the gimbal with my Huawei P30 Pro, which luckily supports all the features available on the OM4. Talking about P30 Pro, the OM4 is also fully compatible with the Huawei's inbuilt camera app. So basically you can use the gimbal for controlling things like zoom or starting and stopping recording, even if you are using the inbuilt camera app. Next up is a reality check for this gimbal, wherein we are going to look at how effective is the OM4 for image stabilization. But before we jump into comparing the videos, let me explain the tests we'll be going through. So we will be looking at 2 videos without the gimbal and 2 videos with the gimbal. For both these tests, I will also alternate between electronic image stabilization or EIS on and off. I will be walking on a smooth surface for all the above tests. From the above tests, I am expecting for the stabilization to smooth out the video to a usable format without the need of additional processing or having to rely on EIS. The reason for not wanting to rely on electronic image stabilization is that EIS crops out the edges on the video and upscales it by up to 10 to 15%. This is not ideal as phone sensor sizes are too small, which means that any sort of upscaling would lower the sharpness of the video and also reduce the field of view for the video. This will result in a poorer quality video, and phone videos are never great as a proper camera video is. I hope you find these sample videos helpful. Alright, time for a conclusion. In my opinion, the DJI OM4 is a great gimbal, not necessarily because of its hardware, as there are plenty of other gimbals out there which perform similarly or better. What makes the DJI OM4 stand out is its software, design and ergonomics. Granted that the app isn't fully compatible for many of the Android smartphones, including some major players like Samsung, OnePlus and Google, and has a definite bias towards Apple phones, which is an attitude DJI has carried from their last generation of gimbals. But for the phones it is compatible with, it works a treat and goes above and beyond in comparison to other gimbals out there. For the price point, being one of the more expensive gimbals in the market, I believe they should have had a wider compatibility, or at least absolutely no difference in features for the phones it officially supports. For example, my P30 Pro. Otherwise capable for a manual camera control is something DJI OM4's app does not allow. Though on the other hand, on Apple phones, this is available out of the box. In this day and age, this is not acceptable. I think OM4 is a great gimbal and would allow you to achieve manual control using third-party apps like Filmic Pro, but the app has its own limitations as well. So if you are an Android user, I would recommend looking elsewhere, unless you're okay with accepting a slightly inferior experience to Apple devices.
Finally, thank you very much for sticking around and watching the whole video. If you enjoyed the review, please check out my channel for other videos and subscribe for future videos. Thank you very much. Bye.